We're back, y'all. Sorry for week 15. We're finally back. It is the Spotlight Sports Talk. I have Donte. I have Nikia, a.k.a. Peaky in the Brain, and he's the new Redskins QB, as he put on his name there.
Yeah.
What's going on with y'all?
Just good.
And I got my special guest. Y'all seen him before on the Spotlight Sports Talk, man. All the way from Baltimore, from Birdland, Baltimore Sports. We got the guy, Fred. I got to give you a nickname, man.
Fred's good enough, brother. We're good. How you guys doing today? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, right. Fred, I mean, I'll did you in the primetime games this week.
Let's not talk about the past. Let's focus on the future. That was a bad week for me. That was a bad week.
All right, so we just go get straight into it, y'all. We got the Saturday night game. We're going to start off. Do you want to take this honor of the Saturday night game, Donte? Redskins versus Tennessee in Tennessee. Do you want to take this pick first?
Yeah, man. You know what? Just because the Redskins just offered me a bogus deal to come play this weekend, they wanted me to quit my job. I'm going to pick Tennessee, just because they tried to get me hurt before Christmas. And I at least want my legs till 2019, So, yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee. And because, I don't know, we some trash, man. What is 52? What is like 52-man roster? How's a 52-man roster and we got 51 people hurt?
Yeah, right.
I can absolutely agree with that.
The only one that ain't hurt is Dan Snyder, and that's because he laid back laughing somewhere.
Oh my God!
He in the press box. He in the owner's suite.
So I'm going with Tennessee, and I think it's going to be I don't know. I think Tennessee going to beat us by at least 10.
Nikia, who you got?
Picking Tennessee. Just the better defense overall. Mariota's mobile. Derrick Henry starting to come around. Derrick Henry, man, the last couple games, Derrick Henry's been a monster.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with that. I'm going with Tennessee here. The last 2 weeks, Henry just been doing a thing. Hopefully, Fred had him in his fantasy this week.
I did. I didn't make that mistake twice.
Oh, yeah.
Shame on me.
And I just can't listen. The run game is just where it's at for Tennessee, knowing Mariota, he does be inconsistent at times at the quarterback position. But I think they're coming around pretty late. They still in the hunt, surprisingly, in this wild card race in the AFC. So I'm taking Tennessee here as well.
Surprisingly, we in the hunt too.
So is the Eagles. Like, since Carolina lost, we think the game a game out of the wild card spot. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you say so, Fred. I don't think you even have to say that. I think you're going with Tennessee here too as well, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the way Derrick Henry's running the ball right now, they finally got it figured out, giving your big back the ball. It's the guy that he's the type of running back that he needs carries. He needs to wear a defense down. He's a second-half type running back, and we're finally seeing this guy get the rock like he was supposed to. This game's got a lot of playoff implications on both ends. The NFC East is an absolute mess with all the teams really outside of the Giants still having a shot at it. Tennessee, they're on the outside looking in right now as far as the playoffs go, but they're right there in the hunt. So it's an important game for both teams with the Redskins bringing in Josh Johnson. I guess he's the lesser of both evils as far as him or Mark Sanchez. Sanchez is just straight trash. He's doing better. Considering he was sitting on the couch just a couple days ago. But yeah, man, I can't pick against the Redskins, or I can't pick against the Titans. I got to go to the Titans in this game.
All right. So I'm gonna let Fred do the honors here because this is his game here. Baltimore Ravens is going into LA against the LA Chargers. I don't know if you want to go first or you want to go last. What you want to do with this one, Fred? Because I know this is your team.
I'll get it out the way. So I made my predictions on my show last night about this game. So I'm all aboard the Lamar effect train, man. I'm all aboard having Lamar start for the rest of this year over Joe Flacco. I've said that since the beginning. But this was the one game, looking at the remaining course of the schedule that we had, that it was going to be the biggest challenge for Lamar. You look at Kansas City. When we played against Kansas City, you thought that would be a good challenge, but Kansas City's defense is awful. So just talking about Lamar being able to produce against a defense, against Kansas City, he had good odds because their defense is bad. This is a top 10 rated defense in San Diego, LA, whatever you want to call them, the Chargers. So this is going to be a real test. And they got a lot of speed. They got sideline to sideline speed. So it's really going to be, they're going to be able to keep Lamar inside the pocket. So I don't think he's going to get a lot of outside runs that he has been getting so far. If this was at home in Baltimore, I might lean more towards the Ravens in this one, but I think San Diego wins this, or LA, whatever you want to call them. Chargers win this one.
Well, I'm going to go, and I think he already explained it to, I think Bosa and Ingram having them on the edge is really going to mess up the timing and the way that Lamar runs the football. They're going to force him to throw. They're going to have to force him to throw in that way. I do like the running game with Baltimore with Gus Edwards, but I just think I'm just kind of nervous with, Rivers versus that Baltimore defense. That's what I'm nervous of. No Keenan. We don't know if we're gonna have a Keenan Allen. Right. We just don't know. Melvin Gordon does come back. So do Eckler. Both of them do come back.
Hunter Henry.
And Hunter Henry is most likely expected to come back as well. Right. So that's another weapon with Antonio Gates showed a little bit of his old self against KC. So I still want to go with LA here. I'm still going with the Chargers, but they at home. I'm just nervous of the just running the football for Baltimore. So I'm taking the Chargers here.
Also go with the Chargers. I mean, Phillip Rivers is on a roll. He's looking good out there. Melvin Gordon's back. That'll help him out. It's going to hurt with Keenan Allen not being there. But I still think he'll find a way to get it done. And the Chargers are at home.
Yeah,
that's a big plus.
I think Mike Williams is going to be that deep threat for them though. Mm-hmm. It's going to fill in for Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is coming back. Yeah, Keenan Allen is coming back. So they got all their big dogs back.
Yeah,
they got all their top gunners back. The crazy part is like last week, man, we seen Mike Williams, we seen Benjamin, we seen Terrell Williams. I wish we could see that a lot more often. I understand Keenan Allen is your go-to guy, but I would like to see the other ones a lot more often. Just like you said, this is a tough matchup for my man Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
This is a tough matchup for Lamar Jackson. But on the flip side, this is going to be a tough matchup for Chargers offense, because Baltimore's defense ain't nothing to be played with. I think I agree. If it was in Baltimore, my pick probably would go to Baltimore, but just because I call them San Diego. I don't care who call them LA. They San Diego Chargers. Man.
Right.
So because San Diego Chargers.
Dude, I still call the Rams St. Louis, so why not?
Exactly. I still call the Titans Houston, the Oilers. So, yeah, but because they at home, and I think Phillip Rivers wants to hit that number one spot in that division bad.
Bro, if Mahomes isn't having the year he's having, he's MVP candidate, top. Yeah. I mean, especially with the struggles that Breeze has had over the past couple of weeks. Phillip Rivers is an amazing year.
Definitely. So definitely, I got to go with the Chargers. I do think it'll be a slow-paced game, though. I don't think it's going to be I think Baltimore could slow any team down. I think it showed that with two of the top pass-first teams in the league. The Saints, they slowed the Saints down. They slowed Kansas City down,
right.
And to tell you the truth, both those games, for real, they really was supposed to win them, both those games,
Now, as an overall package, Fred, do you think this is the toughest test for Baltimore, knowing that is it more of a complete team as the Chargers than it is with, the Saints and KC?
Yeah, like I was saying before, once they made the switch over from Joe to Lamar, obviously that had an effect on this entire team. We talked about that. So looking at the schedule that they had to go for the rest of the season, all the defense that they were going against, except for this one, except for the Chargers, they were all terrible defenses, specifically against the run. So it all worked in Lamar's favor and this style of offense's favor. This was the one blip on the radar that I thought, if he's going to have an F-up, it's going to be here. And, again, this is his first primetime game as well. It's going to be an 8 o'clock game. The lights are going to be on. A lot of people are going to be watching. As a rookie, that's a lot to deal with mentally. I think he's a strong kid. I think he's got – he's pretty cool, calm, and collected. But I just think the atmosphere, again, being on the road, even though they only have like 20 people to come to those games, I still think it's going to be too much for Lamar and for this style of offense. I can't pick against the Chargers in this one as much as I want to. As much as I want to be wrong, I don't think I will be.
Okay.
I wish at some point he could open up and show people he can throw.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely can.
He might not be the most accurate quarterback, but he can throw.
Yeah.
I agree. So we got the 2 Saturday games out the way, and we just go straight to the 1 o'clock games. We have the Giants going into Indianapolis against the Indianapolis Colts. This is a must-win for Indianapolis to stay in the hunt. This is a must-win for them. The Giants had been playing well the last couple of weeks, but Indianapolis is on fire right now. Defensively, offensively, special teams, they're just playing all 3 phases of great football right now. Andrew Luck is having one of his best years of his career with a great defense that has stepped up. Like me and Fred said on the last show, like they have that rookie linebacker that's leading the league in tackles on defense, and T.Y. Hilton is playing his best football after he came back from an injury. I just don't see the Giants going into Indianapolis and beating them. I'm taking the Colts here.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. We talked about it last week. I think Frank Reich has been the big difference in why Philadelphia is struggling the way that they are and why Indianapolis is playing as good as they are. Obviously the Colts offense is clicking on all cylinders right now. Eric Ebron has kind of been reborn out there in Indianapolis. Their defense is playing really good right now, obviously blanking the Cowboys last week. The Giants, honestly, when I first saw them at the beginning of the year, I didn't think they'd win 3 games this year. So they've surprised me winning the 5 that they've won. But I do not see them winning this game, even with Saquon Barkley. That's going to be how they have to win this game. If they're going to stay in this game, they got to feed the ball to Barkley, control the time of possession, limit the amount of times that Andrew Luck is on the field if they want to stand a chance. But, again, like you said, with the Colts having a shot at getting into the playoffs here, I think they'll be amped up for this game. Again, being at home, I can't pick against the Colts.
I think Saquon is the reason why they won more than 3 games.
Agreed.
Without him,
I
don't know. They probably would have won 1 game.
Right.
But they do got an alumni from Brown University, so I can't say too much bad about them, But, man, Giants ain't got no chance.
This guy is entertaining. Oh, my gosh.
I swear.
Sound like Vince McMahon. No chance.
I'm just saying, though, the Colts came into that game last week hungry. Even though the Cowboys was on a little winner streak, at the end of the day, the hungrier team won, And the Colts, they're really in the hunt. And I feel like right now they're gonna do whatever they got to do to make it to make them playoffs. The only thing with the Colts now is T.Y. Hill. He didn't practice today,
right?
But I think he been playing hurt ever since he came back from being hurt. So I don't really think that matters. But I could see Mac having another great game. I can see Ebron having a good game. I can even see Chester Rogers having a good game, But if Saquon open up, then it's not going to be an easy win. They have to stop Saquon Barkley, The Giants, you can stop anybody else on their team, You can you could let anybody go off. You could let Odell go off a little bit. But if you let Saquon go off, then it's a wrap because that run game easily going to open up that passing game.
Right.
So,
They're going to be playing Return of the Mac in the locker room because Mac is killing it.
Mac is back.
Yeah, I really like Andrew Luck. He utilizes all three of his tight ends. You never know who's going to get the ball. It's not just Ebron. I don't know. I forget the other two, but
I think it's like Eric Swoop or somebody else.
He utilizes all of them. He has Mac. He's found a way to win. The defense is killing it, and what's his name is mad because he didn't get picked to the Pro Bowl, and he said he wants 40 tackles against the Giants. Leonard, he said, I want 40 tackles. They was like, that's impossible. How are you going to do it? He's like, I don't care. I'm out for blood for them not picking me in the Pro Bowl. So I'm going for 40 tackles against the Giants.
So that means he has to be on special teams. He has to be on offense. And then he has to, if Andrew Luck throws the interception, he has to run down and get a tackle.
So
he better tackle himself 39 times.
So the highest I've seen in the game was Kinkley when he had with 23. So I don't think he can get 40, but he probably put on a good dang on effort. But I'm going with Indianapolis. The Giants ain't touching them.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. The Battle of Florida. Jacksonville Jaguars going into Miami against the Miami Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins here. Miami just plays better at home. I don't know what it is about that crowd or their home field, but Tannehill plays better at home. That defense plays better at home. The running backs, they got so many different running backs. I'm like, who is this guy this week? I didn't even know who the guy was last week. Like, who was he? So, I was just Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker. They just play better at home. I just don't see nothing going on with Jacksonville. If Jacksonville's not home, they play horrible with Cody Kessler. I'm taking Miami in a landslide here. I don't see it being nothing crazy. Jalen Ramsey just needs to shut his mouth because this season is over for him. I'm taking Miami here.
I think it's a clean sweep with this one because I ain't picking Jacksonville no more.
I don't blame you.
You know why I ain't picking Jacksonville? Because I picked them to beat my Skins, and they disappointed me. And because of that, they made my picks look weak. So I would never pick Jacksonville again. They could be Super Bowl champions for 5 years in a row, and I still won't pick them.
Wow.
Oh man! So
I don't even like Jaguars. I like Lions.
Christ.
Yeah, man, I'm going with the Dolphins in this one too. Both of these offenses are awful. Jacksonville, I can't pick them either. I was high on them going into this season, the way they played last year and everything. And every time I pick them early in the year, they have disappointed me the same. So I am not picking Jacksonville in this game. I'll take Miami.
We got another game that we got to talk about. It's the Atlanta Falcons going into Carolina against the Carolina Panthers. I know y'all heard the news today that Cam Newton, he won't be playing the rest of the year. Yeah. He'll be sitting up the last two games. I don't know who the backup is for Carolina, but
is it still Derek Anderson or he out the league?
No, I think he's out the league. Who the hell is their backup?
Derek Anderson was the backup in Buffalo, remember?
Yeah, well, he came back off the couch for a week or two. And
then he was like, that was it.
That was it, yeah. I forget who the backup is there. I'm not even sure.
I don't even know who the backup there.
Yeah, but I mean, I was saying this last night on the Monday night during the football game. You could just tell in the way Cam was throwing the ball or trying to throw the ball, he was hurting, and he was hurting bad. He could tell he didn't have full range motion. He couldn't throw the ball over 10 yards. Anytime he tried to throw it over 10 yards, he had to put everything behind it and couldn't get anything behind it. That's why he had the bad game that he had. So, yeah, as much as Carolina played great in the beginning of the year, starting off 6-2. What have they lost? 6 in a row now since then?
Yeah,
and losing Cam. I don't care who the backup is there. I'm not taking them. I'll take Atlanta in this game.
Yeah, I have to agree there. I just feel like it was a bounce-back game for Atlanta last week. I know both of these teams are out of the playoffs, but this is still a divisional game. They still don't like each other. I think no team in somebody's division. They don't like each other no matter what the record is. But me personally, I think the Falcons are going to come in and get the win here. Carolina is at home again. DJ Moore, he can't hold on to the football. McCaffrey can't do everything by himself. They need a number one receiver, which they don't have one. So hopefully in free agency they could go out and do that. But I'm taking the Falcons here as well.
That's why they had Christian McCaffrey throw a pass. Cam couldn't do
it. Exactly.
But no, I got Carolina that now that Cam's not in there. Who's to say they might rally behind the backup, but I doubt it. So, but I'm gonna ride with Atlanta. Julio Jones is balling. Tevin Coleman, Jesus Christ, was balling. So I'm gonna take Atlanta.
Hey, backup is what, Taylor Heineck or something like that.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
They should have called Nate Peterman. Honestly, have him come over there, please.
For real. If they call me, I'm like, what, 3.5, 4 hours away from there. I'll come play.
If any team's going to take a chance on Colin Kaepernick, why not them, right? They took a chance on Eric Reed.
Yeah.
I like that scenario.
You know what I mean? If anybody's going to give them a shot, why not them?
And they like that mobile quarterback thing.
Right.
They like that.
It makes sense. It makes absolute sense. So who you taking here, Donte? You taking the Falcons?
I'm going with the home of the Super Bowl.
Falcons.
Hopefully they have Chick-fil-A open that day.
Like that's every time we say the Falcons play at home, they off Chick-fil-A's off on a Sunday. So what's the point of putting it in the stadium if they off on a Sunday? Right. So that's just.
But it's going to be Super Bowl. They got to make an exception. That's when you're going to make a killing.
They're going to cook everything that Saturday.
We got another division game going on. We have the Cincinnati Bengals going into Cleveland against the hot Cleveland Browns. That's just my personal opinion. I picked them last week against the Broncos, and they pulled it off. Man, I don't know what it is about me and these Browns. I think me and the Browns got a connection here right now because I'm taking them this week. This is my redemption because I picked my Raiders last week to beat Cincinnati, and we couldn't beat Cincinnati. So with that being said, I'm taking Baker Mayfield in the Cleveland Browns to get this win over Cincinnati. And the funny thing is they in the hunt too as well. That is crazy to see that the Browns are in the hunt to probably be in a wild card. Don't know, but I'm taking the Cleveland Browns here over Cincinnati in Cleveland.
Yeah, man, I've been saying it all year. This Browns team is a good team, a young and up-and-coming team. It's going to be an attractive job for whoever gets the head coach in the offseason, whoever gets the head coaching job there. They got a lot to build around, and they've been playing good. Ever since they dumped their trash with Hugh Jackson, they've been turned the corner, been playing a hell of a lot better, especially Baker Mayfield, as you said. The Bengals, I don't even know who the backup quarterback was there last week, but he did good things. Whoever it was put up good numbers last week. But nonetheless, Cleveland, again, like you said, they got a long shot, but they've got a shot at actually making the playoffs, which is absolutely crazy to think. There's a team that won, one game in 2 years? And now they're sitting at, 6-7-1, I think?
I think 6-7-1. Yeah. Just imagine it wasn't that tie. They'd be 500 right now.
Right, exactly. And, it might only be 9-10 wins it takes, to get into the playoffs this year. So they're playing for everything they got. They got a tough game going up against the Ravens to finish off the year, but I like the Browns in this one.
I'm a Browns fan.
Keep it simple.
You keep it simple, right? Brown University, right?
I'm a Browns fan, man. Brown University. For all y'all that don't know how the Browns got their name, the Browns. That's because the owner, the person who came up with it, went to Brown University. You heard it from me first.
You hear it first here every time on Spotlight Sports Talk, every week from Donte.
And Baker Mayfield, we trust. We keep believing. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield's grandma went to Brown.
Oh, my God. I can't. So that's another clean sweep with that game as well. Tampa Bay going into Dallas against the Dallas Cowboys. Can Tampa Bay pull up the upset? Can they really pull up the upset?
Look, I'm gonna go. I knew I had some upset picks, but I'm gonna do my upset pick today. I think this one's gonna be it.
Go to him.
Ooh, taking Tampa Bay over Dallas.
I'm taking Tampa over Dallas because that win hurt them. That loss hurt them last week, and I think the momentum has. Garrett talking about it was lack of mental toughness. Man, get out of here.
She's an Eagles fan, by the way.
Mental toughness, my behind. Like, get out of here.
I'm going. I said this was I don't know. This is in Dallas, y'all.
Yeah, man. Don't speak with your heart. Speak with your brain.
This is in Dallas. Dallas plays better at home.
All right.
Dallas play better at home. I think they will. I think they're going ready to come in and just wreck shop at home against Tampa Bay. They can run the football against Tampa Bay. It shows all year that you can run the football against Tampa Bay. The question is, can Jameis Winston do what he do throwing the football? That's my thing, because Dallas defense is better at home than they are away, and it showed in the Colts game last week. But I gotta go with Nikia here. This is an upset. I'm going with Tampa Bay. I feel like Jameis Winston he's a motivated to a point where he get this team rolling. The last couple of weeks, these games been close. It was close to get your Baltimore Ravens this past week until the second half. Like, it was raining and it was close then. I thought they was going to pull it off. But I think Tampa Bay has some faith here. They playing spoilers right now, so I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Like, I definitely think Jameis got the minds to do it. Like, if he just gets his receivers involved, get Mike Evans involved, don't just keep throwing the break. Like, you have to get everybody involved. You got to get Barber going. So I think if they do that, they'll able to beat Dallas.
What as hard it is for me to say this, and it's very, very hard for me to say this because of my football religion. I'm going to go with the Cowboys just because I felt like where they went wrong at last week is they did not look towards Amari Cooper's way. And I don't think that's going to make that mistake. I don't think they're going to make that mistake twice.
Right.
Especially against Tampa Bay. I don't think they're going to make that mistake twice. Tampa Bay is a team that you can't sleep on, and I don't think Dallas is going to sleep on them, just because, even though right now they're leading, they winning the division and everything. What is 3 games left? Two games now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they I think they want to hold on to that. I feel like they want to hold on to that. I just feel like they made a lot of mistakes last week. A couple of the refs said that they ain't working for Jerry Jones. It's about to be playoff time. They're going to go work for Bill Belichick now, So I think he got a couple new refs on his squad. That's going to make them win this game. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
And plus you say Bill pays more.
Yeah, Bill paid his refs more. You know what I'm saying? They get a piece of that Super Bowl money with that. So,
obviously, look at Deflategate, look at Spygate, look at it. Listen, if I was a ref for the Patriots, listen, cut me the check. I'm with it.
Yeah, man, I'm going to go with the Cowboys in this one too. I think they're a motivated team. Obviously they are leading the division right now. They got teams on their heels. So they threw up a goose egg this week in Indianapolis. There's no doubt about that. And I think a big part of that, like to your point, was that they didn't get Amari Cooper involved. Amari Cooper has changed the dynamic of that team since he's come over. Dak Prescott looked terrible, looked lost before he got somebody to throw the ball to. And it's changed that offense completely. And now that they got to respect the pass, you're seeing Ezekiel Elliott run the ball better. He's getting better lanes. He's getting better opportunities. So I just think, again, being at home, a motivated playoff team. Now, granted, Tampa Bay impressed me this week. They did come into Baltimore and played a darn good football game considering the conditions. It was miserable out there. And Jameis made a couple of big throws in that game to keep himself in that game. But I just think Dallas wins this game because it means more to them and they need to win it.
Mm-hmm. So we got another playoff implication, but it's only for one team. It's the Minnesota Vikings going into Detroit against the Detroit Lions. I'm still taking Minnesota. This is in a dome. This is not outside. I'm still taking Minnesota here. I think Minnesota had bounced back from that Monday night game. Monday night game was a terrible game. They fired their offensive coordinator. Thank God, because like me and Fred said last week, like you can't blame Kirk Cousins for that game. He had no time to throw, period. Right. So I think if they give him time to throw and put the ball in Murray and Dalvin Cook's hands to control the clock, they will beat Detroit. I see that. Matthew Stafford just had a real down year this year. I thought he was going to, be good with the Marvin Jones, and it's not a good year defensively for Detroit either. So I'm taking Minnesota here.
That's a no-brainer. Minnesota for me.
Yeah, I'm right there. There's no reason to debate on anything. Really not a whole lot to sell yourselves on this one. This is it's a pretty easy pick here, Minnesota.
Next game.
Every time he say next game, that's a clean sweep. That's a clean sweep. So we got another AFC West division rival. Buffalo Bills going into New England against the New England Patriots.
Oh, God.
This is in New England.
Layup.
I'm picking the Patriots here. They at home. I love Josh Allen and what he did for the Buffalo Bills this season, but this is where it stops. It stops right here. Tom Brady is going to have a bounce-back game. He's pissed off about the way he played in Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Pats here.
Yeah. No reason to argue.
DJ Khaled, that's a no-brainer.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Pretty easy one.
Next game.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Donte. All right, so next game, Green Bay Packers are going into New York against the New York Jets. Now, Aaron Rodgers did have a great game. He had a good game last week. They still lost, but they had a good game. The Jets is just not doing anything for me at all. Sam Darnold acting like he's hurt. He really ain't hurt, please. He ain't hurt. He doesn't want to play anymore. That's just how I feel about it. But I think Green Bay go in here and get the win here. But at the same time, these Jets, when you pick against them, they do something miraculously crazy. You be like, what in the world? Like the Denver game. The Denver game, Denver went in there and they blew Denver out the park. But I'm still taking Aaron Rodgers here. I don't care what defense or how they feel at home. I'm still taking AR 12. I'm taking them. Packers win this game.
I think this is the perfect game for Aaron Rodgers to leave Devontae Adams alone and utilize all the young talent that came to your squad, who is really a beast. I think that's the perfect game for him to do that because neither team is playing for anything, Right. So you might as well you might as well get them young boys ready for next year,
Yeah.
And I think this is the perfect game to do that with right now, At one point, the coach did say that he wasn't going to play Aaron Rodgers this week. And Aaron Rodgers pretty much told him, boy, I get paid to play. Shut up. That's pretty much what he said. I ain't got too much to say about the Jets. Yeah, I ain't got too much to say about the Jets. I used to have a Jetta. I guess that I could say that.
Oh, my God. Yo. I can't. So that means you picking the Packers, right?
Yeah. I like Green Bay right there. I like Green Bay because they name closer to Old Bay, and I like Old Bay season.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, I'm on board with you there too. There's really not a whole lot to like about New York. I mean, they got a couple of good pieces there. Sam Darnold's not it. I know it's only his first year, but just what I've seen and some of the decisions that he makes. It's just I do not like what I see out of Sam Darnold. Yeah, it's been a rough year for Green Bay, no doubt about it. I do think that they have some good young pieces there. Aaron Jones is another one that he's a real good running back. I think if they can involve him more in the offense, that's only going to help Aaron Rodgers and the offense succeed moving forward into next year. So yeah, I'd like to see them get the young guys involved too. So I'm going Green Bay in this one.
Is Aaron Jones out for the season?
Is he?
I don't think so.
I know Jamal Williams. I know Jamal Williams was hurt, but I don't know. I don't think Aaron Jones.
I'm gonna look it up right now because I know he was he messed me up. He messed me up over the weekend.
Oh, really?
He went out quick too. I'm about to look it up right now though.
Who you got, Nikia?
Ron.
That's all. I guess that's all you gotta say because you usually do your He's a bad.
Well, I'm not going with bad man this week. So he lost last week.
Well, he did still look like the bad man though. He kept them in the game against Chicago.
Yeah, but we're gonna go with Ron this week.
And before we go to the next game, let me see if Aaron Jones is out. You know anything yet?
They ain't said nothing. I gotta look at my other resource.
All right, so we just gonna go into the next game. This is a tough one.
Oh yeah, he on IR.
He on IR?
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising. But
I didn't hear that one.
The Houston Texans going into Philadelphia against the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles is at quarterback.
I ain't going against Nick Foles.
Me.
Nikia, do the honors. You're Eagles.
Wait, are we at home?
Yes.
Okay, I'm taking the Eagles. Why? Because we came in there, nobody thought we was going to beat the Rams because I damn sure didn't. I picked against them. And for some reason, it's just like we rallied around folks. I don't know. Just Carson, he might have came back too early. I think he still was a little bit hurt when he came back. So I'm not saying I'm blaming it all on Carson. Doug Peterson and his play calling as well. But one thing about Nick, he's not mobile. So you have to work with the plan and with him because he's not mobile. So he's better at the RPO than Carson is. Carson is mobile if he needs to get out of it, he can run. Foles ain't mobile worth to save his life. But he had to get a running game involved as well. He got Alshon Jeffrey involved. It wasn't just Ertz. But he has to spread it around. He got Golden Tate involved with the first downs. You got to use Aguilar. The defense stepped up, but I think they can get to Watson. But we just got to worry about the secondary and Thomas and Hopkins burning us. But I think it's not gonna be a blowout. I think it'll be a close one. So I still picking the Eagles.
Yeah, to your point, I think the big impressive thing for me in that Rams-Eagles game was the fact that how the offensive line shut Aaron Donald basically down that entire game. As much as a beast as he is, they did a good job at containing him. Now, you look at this Houston team, and to your point, Nick Foles is not a mobile guy. So if he's going to be successful against this team, against Houston, he's going to have to get the ball out quickly. He's going to have to do short routes, short slants across the middle, things that he can get rid of the ball real quick because J.J. Watt and Clowney are going to cause all kinds of havoc. You can stop one, but it's going to be hard to stop both of them. Man, it's hard for me in this game to pick against the Eagles, especially being at home and the way that they played against the Rams. Nick Foles, there's something magic, whatever you want to call it, about him because the same shit happened last year at the same time last year, and he took them on the run that he took them on. I don't want to pick against him, especially you guys are all Eagles fans and everything too, but I am. I think Houston was a team.
That was just me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Houston was a team I was real high on coming into the season, and they started off the year like crap. They came out 0-3, and then they won, 7 or 8 games in a row. Deshaun Watson still hasn't played up to the expectations that I think a lot of people had for him, especially the way he played prior to the injury.
Mm-hmm.
But they are a good all-around team. It's a good defensive football team. Hopkins, in my opinion, top 3 wide receiver in the league. I mean, he's definitely got the best hands. He's going to create all kinds of problems. I'm going to go Houston in this game.
I have to agree with you, Fred, just because of Eagles defense. I understand that the Rams has a high power offense, but the last couple of weeks, the Rams have not been playing well.
Golf looks like crap.
They've been playing horrible the last 2 weeks going into that game. So me personally, I just feel like if the Eagles defensive line can stop Deshaun Watson from being mobile, because once he's out the pocket, Deshaun Watson is a totally different quarterback if he's out the pocket. He got the legs to do it. If they keep him in the pocket, the Eagles can win this football game. But I don't see that happen. I think J.J. Watt and Clowney on the opposite side is just too much for this Eagles offense. Y'all can't have Nick Foles doing 7-step drop backs, sitting in the pocket, waiting for somebody to get open, because within that, you got Clowney and Watt on you. And I think Marcellus is playing too at the linebacker position. So I just think I like the running game better than what the Eagles do with Josh Adams. Lamar Miller could do it all. Him and Alfred Blue is a 1-2 tandem there in Houston. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game. I wish this game could have been, a Sunday night game, because this is one of them games that it should have been a Sunday night or Monday night game. I wish they could flip it and take my Raiders off Monday night and put them on Monday night. That's just my personal opinion. But, I'm taking the Texans.
The Raiders on Monday night?
Raiders and Broncos.
Monday night is a trash game. Trash. I don't even know if I'm going to be commentating that game.
I'm commentating it just the fact to talk trash about my Oakland Raiders. So I'm taking the Texans here.
For some reason, even though the Rams have been trashed the past few weeks, Philly's defense looked like they did last year. Like, everything about Philly last week was like, it seemed like even the offensive line, blocked a little bit more for Foles than they even did for Wentz. They got Smallwood in the picture. One thing about Houston is their weak points is their offensive line. That's why Deshaun Watson ends up running the most of the time. Because one of their weak points is their offensive line. However, the Eagles is Nick Foles' team. That's his team. He stamped that last year, and I felt like that was like a statement game for him last week, And I think he's going to make another statement again this week against Houston. I think he's going to make another statement. Like I said, wouldn't it be crazy if the backup quarterback hit the Super Bowl two years in a row?
But this would be
movies like it.
I think this would be more impressive than it was last year, because y'all the number 1 team in the NFL last year. Y'all had the best record. This was a horrible year for the Eagles, and to get Nick Foles to come back in the same game, around the same time of the year, and they get to players to go back to Super Bowl, this would be more impressive than doing it last year. That's just my personal opinion.
And it's actually kind of cheating because he really sat on a bench and studied everybody all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's actually kind of cheating a little bit.
That ain't cheating. That's impressive. What are you supposed to do?
No, I'm just saying though. It's not. It's different from how Tampa Bay do it, because they do it every 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
They do it. They do it every 2 weeks. The first half they'll have Jameis Winston. Second half, bring in Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
They flip flop it. They do it again. Oh, Fitzpatrick playing like crap. Oh, bring Jameis Winston in the second half. It never fails.
But with Philly, it's different though. It seemed like they just went and told Wentz, look, bro, just get us in the hunt, and we're gonna take you out.
And we're good.
That was the plan, right? You know, because Foles can't get us in the picture. He can only finish. He can't start the job. He can finish the job, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened right there.
He's a Super Bowl MVP for a reason, you know? So we got 3, 4 o'clock games. We got the Rams going into Arizona against the Arizona Cardinals.
As terrible as the Rams looked the past 2 weeks, I ain't going against them now.
Yeah. Another layup.
Yeah, I think this is a clean sweep for us, the Rams here.
They ain't losing 3 in a row.
I don't see it happening, especially not in no Arizona against no Josh Rosen. I definitely don't see that happening.
Aaron Donald gonna tear his ass up.
Yeah, right.
He gonna be like, I ain't gonna back or nothing last week. It's gonna be a problem. Josh Rosen, you're not going nowhere. Oh man. But we got the next game. This I don't know. This game is kind of tricky to me. Chicago going into San Fran.
What's tricky about it?
What's tricky about it? You know that they beat Seattle last week.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just motivation for them to be spoiled. It's not really a spoiler game for them because we already clinched the division. But I don't know. I think they are rallying behind Mullins right now. But I ain't picking them to win. I ain't picking them to win. I still like Chicago in this game, knowing they in San Fran. Kittle's still going to get his numbers. As far as fantasy, that's great for me. But I'm not in the championship, so I'm in the loser bracket, but it's still great for me. But I'm still taking the Bears here. But at the same time, Trubisky does have to play better, especially going into the playoffs. He has to play better. The running game is good for Chicago. The defense, it ain't really nothing to say. The defense is just stout. Like
they're on another level right now.
They are. They on another level to a point where you could like when you see a defense with a swagger. That's when you know you on all cylinders. And this Bears team is going into the playoffs. This defense is going into the playoffs high. So good luck to anybody that got to go to Chicago in the first game of the playoffs. So I'm taking the Chicago Bears here.
Yeah, man. The whole notion that defense can't win championships, I don't know who said it first and why that's a narrative because it shouldn't be. Because this team, I'm telling you, nobody's going to want to face them in the playoffs. Regardless, we know it personally as Baltimore fans. When you got a defense like that, you can win a Super Bowl as long as you got a quarterback that can manage the game. Don't lose the game for us. Don't turn the ball over. Don't do anything stupid. Control the time of possession. Get first downs. And score when you've got the opportunity to score. And I think that's what Chicago's doing. That's the formula for what works there. Trubisky, honestly, yeah, I think he could play better, but he's impressed me a lot. I think he's more mobile than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can make plays with his feet. He makes poor decisions, from time to time, and that's part of growing. Again, this guy didn't even play a whole lot in college. So this really is only like year 3 for him between college and NFL, like growing and learning this style offense. So I've been pretty impressed with Trubisky. Yeah, 49ers, Mullins has kind of come out of nowhere and done pretty well considering the circumstances. And I think he'll probably get an opportunity somewhere else because once they get Garoppolo back, that he's going to be the starter there. Mullins will probably get a shot somewhere else to be a starter. But yeah, I'm not picking against the Bears in this one.
Trubisky, we trust. Hey, Mullins can go to Jacksonville.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad spot for him.
You go to the Redskins.
I think Flacco ends up there. I think Flacco either ends up there or Miami.
Flacco's going to Washington?
I think so.
What?
We'll see because they're definitely trading him at the end of the year. And he's a family guy. He's already got family here in Baltimore. Doesn't really want to move far. It'd be a short commute for him. Makes a lot of sense. Alex Smith is done.
Yeah, he had an infection in that league.
Yeah. Right, so they're going to need somebody.
So who you going with, Donte? This is just next game for you?
Just because Brown University name is the Brown Bears, I'm going to take the Bears.
Jesus Christ.
That's the only reason.
Now, if it wasn't because that, you would have picked the 49ers?
No, just Chicago. Chicago is just a better team than 49ers.
Oh, my God. Yo.
I mean, Nick Mullins all right, but he ain't all that.
Right.
He ain't all that. That's cool.
Yeah,
425 game. This is a good game, y'all. Pittsburgh Steelers going into New Orleans against the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans is home. This is I don't trust Pittsburgh on the road. I do not. I am not picking them here. I'm not picking Pittsburgh here. And I've been picking them a lot this year to win some games, and I was right. But this is New Orleans. This is in a dome. This is the most comfortable the Saints has been. I think if the Saints win and the Rams, I think the Rams they'll be number one team. Everything have to go through New Orleans in the playoffs. So good luck to the NFC on that one. If they have everything has to go through New Orleans. But I'm taking Breeze and the boys. I know they've been struggling on offense, being on the road the last couple games, but I do like them here against Pittsburgh. We don't know what's going on with James Conner. Don't know when he's coming back.
They said he was playing.
Yeah, I think he's on the mend. I think he's looking like he's going to come back this week.
They said he could have played last week if he wanted to, but they was trying to be safe with it.
I don't see Connor being the difference in this dome game here. I'm taking Breeze and the Saints, man.
Yeah, I need the Saints to win this game. We as Raven fans, we need we're half game behind the Steelers for the division lead. So if we get a Saints win here and we beat the Chargers, we're in the division there. So I need this one. Saints need to get their shit together on offense, though. They have not looked good. They got weapons all over the field, and they are not playing these since that Cowboys game. They have not played good offensively.
They've been playing weird.
Yeah,
like really weird.
It's strange. It's almost like conservative in a way, which is strange because that's not really Sean Payton. Like Sean Payton's never conservative. We saw it. Again, I keep comparing things to the Ravens, but it's just what I saw firsthand. When we played against the Saints, they went for 4 fourth-down conversions on the first drive of that game. Like, he does not play conservative football at all. He rolls the dice more than any other head coach out there. And it's been strange to see the difference in the offense. Kamara's still doing his thing. Ingram's still doing his thing. But Breeze and the wide receivers just don't seem like they're on the same page. But, man. Yeah, to your point, Steelers don't play as well on the road. That's in the dome. That's where Breeze thrives the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the Saints. It's a tough pick, but I'm going to go with the Saints.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
What?
I can't blame him, man. It's a tough pick. It is.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. I was a toss-up. Like, just over the couple of weeks. I don't know. The Saints has been playing their lights out. Like, they've been blowing out people. Just past Monday night showed it. Like, what was the score? 12-9. What kind of game?
But this is to pinpoint why I picked the Saints is that majority of Ben Roethlisberger's interceptions has been on the road. Majority of his 15 interceptions, majority of them has been on the road, and they've been multiple interceptions.
I mean, I just think Pittsburgh. There's Michael Thomas, there's Kamara, there's Ingram. I think Pittsburgh has better people. You got AB, you got Juju Smith-Schuster. You got that. They got the 2 tight ends they can use. I just like Pittsburgh here.
I'm scared the way he about to say. I am nervous right now.
I don't know about this, man.
This one could be really tricky.
Honestly, I didn't know who I was going to go until I talked myself through the pick until I got to the very end. So I'm right there with you, man. It's a tough pick.
I don't really know about this. I'm gonna give you this pick like Sunday night.
Come on, Donte. Come on, you can't do a Sunday night, man. The game starts at 4:25, man.
I don't know about this game right here, man. Saints playing weird, like very weird. It's like I don't know. He ain't been using Michael Thomas or none of that, man. Like, I mean, he use them, but they don't use them like that, man. Like, how you go from you get through the whole year scoring like 30, 35 plus points a game to 12 points? Come on, man.
Cowboys gave everybody the formula. That's what it was.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go with Breeze just cause Breeze has always been like one of my favorite quarterbacks, man. But I don't know. I don't really know about this game, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh beat them.
Yeah, I still wouldn't be surprised either. I just feel like in that dome, in that atmosphere, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger is ready for it.
Yeah, I think this one of those games where I just got to go with a team just because they playing at home. Because if Pittsburgh was playing at home, then I would
have picked Pittsburgh. I agree.
So, yeah, this is a team that just because a team is playing at home, I got to rock with them, you know.
I guess I'm the lone wolf on this one.
Yeah, sure is. All right, let's get straight to this. 2 more games, y'all. 2 more games. Sunday night, Kansas City versus Seattle. Seahawks in Seattle. Now, this is a tough game, too, because this, mind you, the Kansas City Chiefs can play well on the road. They can play good on the road. But this is the 12th man. This is a wholly different atmosphere here. Like, this is 12th man versus every stadium outside of Arrowhead. Like, this is just – he's one of the 2 teams that have the 2 loudest stadiums in football right now. And Russell plays well at home, and this defense plays well at home. Kansas City can show they can be beat. They can be beat. But I think Kansas City loses here. I'm taking Russell Wilson. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks. I just like the way this offense is playing, and Kansas City defense can't beat nobody. They was up 14 points in the 4th quarter against the Chargers and blew it. The defense blew it for Kansas City and ended up getting a wide open 2-point conversion, giving up that as well. I'm going with Russell, last name Wilson. I'm going with the Seahawks here.
Check me out, right?
In a close one.
That ain't the only team the Chargers did that to. That's the Chargers, man. You know, they do the unexpected. Unfortunately, I don't know, because I can't really say this game means more to Kansas City than it does Seattle, because this game means more to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it's like a non-conference game, like that doesn't even matter. You know, Seattle they have to win. They want to win. You know, especially because the wild card spot in the NFC is like so wide open. You know, and then on top of that, Kansas City could, like, as soon as they look over their shoulder, they see the Chargers right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like I know they want to win that bad because they want to hold on to that number 1 spot. I know how bad they want that first week back. You know, and with the Chargers just looking right over their shoulder like that. You know, now especially if Chargers play Thursday night.
The Chargers play Sunday. They play Saturday night.
Saturday night, right? Yeah.
Now, especially if the Chargers end up winning that game, it's tough when you see the team that's right on your ass play. You know, man, if the Chargers mess around and end up winning that game, you know, now you're gonna see Kansas City gonna come in there and try to do whatever they can. You know,
right?
And I mean, I said it, I'm gonna go with Kansas City, man. Like I said it once, and I'm gonna say it again. Like, Patrick Mahomes is special.
Mm-hmm.
That boy is
Russell Wilson.
Like, Patrick Mahomes has a hell of a gift, man. And even the games that he's lost, you know, he lost to all veteran quarterbacks. You know, quarterbacks that's that much higher than a Russell Wilson. You know, Brady. You know, who else? Did he play the Saints? They ain't play the Saints. Why I keep on thinking he played the Saints?
You're thinking of the Rams. They played the Rams.
Nah.
So you think that Jared Goff is a higher quarterback than Russell Wilson?
Well, nah. Well, that game could have went out of the way. That game was just the best game of I'm 35. That's probably the best game I ever seen in my life. So exclude that game right there.
Game.
Exclude that game right there. You know, they just did something. They did something for us. We won that game. Ain't nobody win that game. The fans won.
Yeah.
You know, like the fans won that game. You know, but besides that game, I mean, even with like Patrick Mahomes losing losing to Phillip Rivers, man. I mean, the boy is just something special. You know, I think he wins by 3 points. I think he wins by 3 points.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you. I think the Chiefs win this game. It's going to be a really close game. Like you said, Darion, to your point, you know, to 12th man, that's going to be a hostile environment, and that's definitely going to play an effect. What Mahomes can do, some of the ability to extend plays with his legs, throw on the run, become more accurate of a thrower when he's on the run. It's mind-boggling, some of the stuff that he can do. Seattle, for me, they've been a bipolar team this year. Like they'll come out and they'll play well, and then they'll go into a shell for a couple of games and they look like crap. So you just don't know what you're going to get from Seattle. They do tend to play better at home. That's why I think this is going to be a close game. Otherwise, if they were on the road, I think Kansas City wins this one pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I can't pick against Kansas City. I think the playoff implications, that first round bye, that's huge. That's huge for Kansas City. Win or lose with San Diego, you know, Saturday night. They don't want to go into a Week 17 contest, even if, you know, San Diego was to lose. If they lose this game to Seattle, well, then it comes down to Week 17, you know, as far as whether they're going to get a first round bye or not. This game does mean something extra to them just as much as it does mean something to Seattle. So I give the edge to Kansas City.
Man, this is tough.
Mm-hmm.
He said you got the 12th man. They done broke sound barriers. They're in the Guinness Book of World Records for noise.
Mm-hmm.
And like quarterbacks and teams have to play differently when they go up there. They got to play with loud music in practice. You got to get your snap counts right and your silent counts together. Man, I don't know. I think I might take Seattle with this one.
Do you want me to write that down?
Go ahead.
Well, the reason why I say that, because, like, don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes is gifted, and he's so great at what he does. But look at the younger years that Russell Wilson was doing it. He was just like that same Patrick Mahomes, you know, throwing the ball on the run. Like, he didn't have the stature and the receivers that he had, but he was still getting it done. He won a Super Bowl with it. I mean, he won a Super Bowl.
He could have won two.
He had a great defense, too, over top of that. But that is the kryptonite to Patrick Mahomes winning in the playoffs, is that defense. If that defense can't keep him on that defense can't get off the field, that's a problem. And that's my problem. That's why I picked the Seahawks, because I feel like Kansas City's defense can't stop no one. I don't care who's back there. They 32. They 32nd in the league in total defense. I'm not picking against a three-headed monster in Seattle with Carson, Penny, and Mike Davis. And they got the worst run defense. I can't go against that. So that's why I picked Seattle. Just to put my personal opinion out there.
I can understand your point, because Kansas City defense is trash, but there's no team that can stop them from scoring. On the flip side, like, their defense trash, but for
the Chargers
for every mistake that their defense makes, their offense backs it up.
Well, if you look at it, if you think of the Rams and the Chargers since their game, they haven't put up as many points since that game. If you look at it,
I'm gonna be honest. Ain't no top team been putting up that money.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Saints, the Rams, Kansas City, I would say New England, but they ain't been putting up that type of money all year like that. You know,
which is true.
You know, San Diego. You know, they play according to who their opponent is. You know, if they got a weak opponent, then they're gonna play a little bit conservative. But if they got respect for their opponent, then you know they're gonna play like how they play against Kansas City.
This is a win for both teams, though. Definitely a win for both teams. You know, Seattle's trying to be still in the hunt with that last wild card spot. You know, battling out with the Vikings for that them and the Vikings for a wild card spot. Then Kansas City, they thought they was running away with the division, and then the Chargers come around, and boom. You know, it's just what it is. But let's get to this last Monday night game. I think this is a clean sweep, man. Denver Broncos going into my Oakland Raiders. I'm not even excited.
Nope, it ain't a clean sweep. I'm going with Oakland.
Oh, no. I'm not doing that. Why? Tell me why you going with the Raiders.
Because Brown University had alumni that went to Oakland.
I'm so done with him.
Back in like
I know there's one thing about my Oakland Raiders, right? When I pick against them, they win. When I pick them to win, they lose. So I'm going to be the winner here because I'm picking the Broncos. I'm picking the Broncos. I don't see no way in hell that we're beating the Denver Broncos after we lost to Cincinnati.
You probably said the same thing when they beat when the team against Pittsburgh.
But who's more decimated, Cincinnati or Pittsburgh? Cincinnati is. No Andy Dalton, no AJ Green, no Tyler Boyd, and all they had was Joe Mixon, and they still beat us. Unacceptable. You give that one game to Jordy Nelson that he had a great game. That was it. We can't run the football. We can't stop nobody on defense. What's his name? Driscoll, the quarterback for Cincinnati. He looked like Peyton Manning out there against our defense.
Yeah, he did.
I'm going with Case Keenum in the Denver Broncos. It hurts my heart to say it because I can't stand none of the teams in the AFC West, but it hurts my heart to say it. I'm going with the Broncos.
I can't stand Case Keenum. Can't stand him. He's terrible.
I agree.
But when you look at this team, I mean, you look at the way Oakland's played all year round. They've played awful. Honestly, I mean, Denver's hurting. You know, they got rid of their top receiver in Demaryius Thomas. You know, Sanders goes down with the injury. Cortland Sutton, too young to be a number one right now. You know, they got a couple of pieces out there. Tim Patrick stepping in, looking like he's okay. I think the difference in this game, and the only reason I picked the Broncos in this game, is Phillip Lindsay. I think he's the better running back, you know, between the two teams. And to your point, you know, I think Joe Mixon was a big part of why Cincinnati did what they did, and I think we'll see more of the same here with Phillip Lindsay running all over Oakland's defense.
Definitely picking the Broncos in this one. I don't think Oakland has it in them. But then you never know. Miraculously, we're going to check the scores. Oakland's going to be winning. Then I'll be mad. But I'm going to pick Denver.
It never fails with the Oakland Raiders. It never fails. I picked Pittsburgh to mop the floor with Oakland, and Oakland gets the win at home against Pittsburgh. I was devastated.
That's because Boswell slipped.
Hey, a win is a win. A win is a win, but I still don't see it. I don't know. When y'all see that live stream Monday night, y'all gonna be like, it's gonna be terrible, man. It's gonna be a long night, but
yeah,
we finally got through week 16. Week 16, y'all. This season,
I ain't tell you why I'm picking Oakland.
Man, you already said it. You said somebody from Brown University goes to Oakland or something like that.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Denver is gonna let Oakland beat them. It's the final game in Oakland. They ain't gonna lose that. They're gonna go out with a bang.
No, they're not, because they already the city of Oakland is already suing the Oakland Raiders. The city of Houston is suing us. They don't care. Like, I ain't worrying about that. We going to Vegas in 2020. We be fine. But it is what it is. But week 16 is in the books, y'all. Like, our picks we getting down to the wire here, y'all. Down to the wire is playoff.
This season went by fast.
Yeah, it did.
It sure did. It sure did. Before you know it, it'll be the Super Bowl, then the draft all over again. That's
Right.
how fast it's going. But I want to thank Fred from Birdland, Baltimore Sports, for being on here with us and doing these picks, man. I really do appreciate you having you on. Wish we could have Scott on here as well. Hopefully we could probably have him on next week. But
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. Appreciate meeting all you guys. Have fun doing this, and hopefully we can do it again next week.
Definitely, man.
And definitely go subscribe to Birdland, Baltimore Sports. You'll see it on the card on your right-hand side where it'll say subscribe to Birdland BS. They got a great podcast going on every Tuesday night. Green Screen was awesome this last Tuesday night. Even the green screen you did Monday night, that was really good as well, too. There was a green screen, right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
So definitely subscribe to the channel and subscribe to, follow us all on social media at Birdland BS and Spotlight Sports Talk. We are done here for the night. Subscribe to the channel. We see y'all in the final week of the season, week 17.